What is up, guys and gals? It's me, Thomas Fan01 here, and today we are back at it again with another Transformer figure review. And we're actually going to be taking a look at something I'm very excited for. There's actually a small product detail that we're going to go over here in just a brief minute here. But anyways, today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Studio Series 86 Commander class. Today we're going to be taking a look at Hook first. Next review, we'll take a look at Long Haul and all of the Devastator component pieces. But for the moment, we're going to take a look at the packaging. And as you can clearly tell, this piece here does not match the figure. So there's obviously, there's a few creative liberties they took with Hook, for sure, and Long Haul. But anyways, to move on to the sides of the packaging, you have Hook and Long Haul both in their vehicle modes here. You got Autobot, Transformers on the side there. And on this side, you have Devastator, and it says 3 out of 5. And the reason why it says 3 out of 5 is because technically it's 3 and 4 out of 5, but you never know. Because there is one, I believe it's Bone Crusher's box that actually says 3 out of 6 or 2 out of 6. So I do believe that that's how that's going to go. So anyways, in terms of the back of the packaging, we have all of these nice, beautiful product images that are going on with it back here. We have Hook, we got Long Haul, we got Long Haul's trailer here that comes along with everything inside it. And we also have this image here of him throwing sludge at Snarl. Sludge at Slag, excuse me. So, anyways, that's pretty much it for the packaging. And moving along to the figure we're going to be taking a look at today, which is Hook. I am quite excited for this review, because this review is, like, the key, maybe not this particular one, but the review for this set is the most highly looked for, because this is how you get Devastator. There's no other way to do it. They have stated that they're not going to do a box set until at least 2029, 2020, or 2028, 2029, maybe 2030, but they said that they're not going to do a box set of the whole thing yet. But in terms of everything, this is what we have for Hook, and this is a much, much, much nicer refresh than the one that we got with Combiner Wars, because I know the one that was with Combiner Wars, Long Haul, Mixmaster, and I think it was Hook. I'm not 100% certain, but I think it was Hook, that they all just did absolutely dirty. They did not do them properly, and they just didn't pay attention. But this is a much, much, much nice needed refresh of the figure. So, in terms of accessories for said figure, you only get 2, which is this right here, this extendable hook, this extendable arm here, and you can just close it back up again, and you can just to make things a little easier, you can do that too. But he does come with that. So that sits there. And he also comes with a blaster, as, all Transformers tend to come with. So, yeah. And to store said blaster, there is no other way to store it properly, so you have to store it there. Unfortunately, there's no other place you really can store it. So they didn't really think too much of storage for weapons on this dude particularly, but you know what? That's not a complaint. So anyways, we are going to get him into robot mode, then we are going to put him back into vehicle mode, because to get him into his combined mode, we have to get him into vehicle mode. But first, y'all know the rules. It's time for scale comparisons, because y'all know we love those here. So, anyways, here he is next to Studio Series 86 Galvatron, which I'm quite pleased with how this Studio Series 86 line is looking, so here he is next to Kingdom Cyclonus, who is, by the way, if you guys have not seen my leaks video where we went over all of the leaks, this guy's getting a Studio Series 86 version here real soon. So next year, be on the lookout for this guy getting a Studio Series 86 release. So here he is next to Studio Series 86 Scourge. And here he is next to 86 Scrapper. And finally, here he is next to Bone Crusher. And we'll just start getting the family photo going here. Once we get him into robot mode, then we'll do the whole family photo with Bone Crusher and Scrapper, and yeah, so yeah. So, alrighty. But that's pretty much it for comparisons, because now it's time to get this guy into robot mode. And to get him into robot mode, it's very, very, very easy. The first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come to this bottom section here, and you're going to want to bring these flaps up like so. And then you are going to take these arms, you are going to just untab them. They tab in under here and right here. It's a very, very secure tab, so you are going to want to lift this up a bit and bring it down. So that way everything kind of just smoothly collapses on the backpack. So lift these up. If you can move the arms out of the way first, go ahead. But if you don't, no big deal. Move the whole arm assembly or everything of that nature up. And then we're going to basically swivel out the arms like so here. We're going to flip these down like that and fold that down. And then we can start working on the feet. And to work on the feet, you need to untab these bits here and then come to the arm, move it out of the way, split them, and then bring this all the way down on a double hinge on the bottom section here. Do the same thing on the other side with the cab of the truck. And then we shall commence the final bits here. Take these feet, untab them from the shin bits, and they just collapse down and fold in quite nicely, and everything just kind of frictions in. It doesn't really tab too much into place. The only place that really I can tell tabs in very well is this side, and that just might not even tab in either. So there you have that, and we can bring these arms down a bit. But let's bring this piece all the way down too. Pop his gun into place. And there you have Hook in his robot mode. And yeah, I'm going to be real with you. The selling point of this figure is not because of the robot mode. So yeah. And it's definitely not a, like, everything up top up to about here on this figure is proper, like what I thought Studio Series 86 Hook was going to look like. However, I am not disappointed with where they had to go with certain things, because they had to make some certain sacrifices in order for the robot mode of Devastator to be what it is. So there's no waist swivel, there's no any of that nature. So anyways, get him into scale comparisons, then we'll get him back into vehicle mode, and we will get him into his combined form, which it's just easier if you get him into vehicle mode to get him into combined form. It just is. I don't know why, I don't know how, but it just is. So anyways, here he is next to Studio Series 86 Galvatron. Here he is next to Kingdom Cyclonus. Here he is next to Studio Series 86 Scourge. Here he is with Bone Crusher and Scrapper. So there's a lot of good stuff that's going to be coming here. I already know DNA is making a third-party upgrade kit for this guy so he can have the trumpet. So yeah. But anyways, that is pretty much it for the robot mode. So if you'll just give me a brief moment, we shall get this guy back into vehicle mode, and then we shall start getting him into combined mode. So if you'll give me just a moment, we shall do so. So, one moment, folks. Back in vehicle mode. We're back in vehicle mode now. So, one thing, you don't have to do this to start this off, but I tend to because it just makes my life just a little bit easier. You can remove the arm attachment for the vehicle mode. You don't have to, but I just tend to find that a little easier. So, to continue with this, we're going to untab these arms and bring them down. So, pop them out, bring them down, like so. Then I like to flip the head up of Devastator just enough to get it out of the way, so that way everything can kind of move a little bit more thoroughly. You're going to come to the bottom here, you're going to untab the legs, and then you're going to just kind of open this whole thing up and straighten out all the joints, make sure they're all straightened out, and then you're going to just subtly fold it like you were folding, like you're folding the diaper, or you're folding, or you're folding some laundry. Just snap that all into place. and then bring these all the way back up so that way they can be used for the combined feature later. Flip the hands in like so, and this will become a new connection port for that as well. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this next section right here, going to just accordion it all the way over, and then you're going to also, if you can do so without flipping everything out, make sure that the combiner piece attached armament here can open up, but sometimes this one, okay, so it's a little looser. So then flip that out and basically just keep it there. Then you're going to take the head of Devastator, plop it all back down on top of this, and it'll all tab in. And then you're going to basically just rotate it, and you're going to open this up, flip out the face, and there you have all of that. So there you have Hook in his combined form at the very least. So, oh wait, hold on, I almost forgot. There we go. That's where that belongs. So here we have Hook in his combined form, and now nobody needs to worry. Nobody needs to worry about where things are going to be going. So, and if you would like to, I would suggest this, but you don't have to if you don't want to. You can rotate the head, but it may or may not allow you to. I don't know. So, but basically, that's kind of what you're doing in order to get this guy into combined mode. And these bits do peg into the plastic as well, so there's not too much worry about that. Now, let's get this guy back into robot mode, and we shall rank the figure, we shall do our final thoughts, then we shall rank the figure, and then we shall end the video, and I will see you guys next week. Or maybe not next week, maybe at the end of the week, but we'll see. I'll see you guys in the next video. So, let's get this guy back into robot mode so we can do that. Alright, so now that we've got him back in robot mode, we can officially get into the final thoughts of this guy, and then we shall rank him. So, I'm going to tell you right now, of all of the Constructicons that have come out so far, he's my least favorite. Reason being, the transformation is dead stupid simple, which, again, not that big of a problem. I don't have a problem with dead stupid simple transformations. In fact, it makes my job a little easier. What I don't like are these arms. What were you guys smoking when you came up with these arms? Like, I could have thought of 3 different ways you could have re-engineered at least these biceps to a point where these were not, looking so ridiculous, and him having, that little tiny Combiner Wars type hand. So this reminds me of Combiner Wars Long Haul. I know it's not Combiner Wars Long Haul, but it reminds me of that. So that's what frustrates me a lot about this figure, is these arms and the fact that you can't really do anything about them. So there's that. Second thing I do not officially like about this figure is the fact that there is more to this. In fact, I missed a step in the combination form. This piece needs to come down as well. So yeah, there's a lot here that I missed. But anyways, so with that being said, let's get the quick family portrait going on in here, so that way we all know this is a combiner. We all know that they're going to combine. We all know they're going to be brought into it. So I am excited because we do have the next video that's coming out, which is Long Haul, and then later on this year we will have Mixmaster and Scrapper. So, or not Scrapper, Bone Crusher, Hook, Long Haul, Scrapper, Mixmaster. I can't remember the last one. He's the other arm. He's the digger. I think it was scrap metal. I don't remember exactly. But point being is that all of these characters are coming to the Studio Series 86 line, and I'm very pleased that they are, because this is something that we all have needed. We needed a refresh on Devastator. We definitely needed that. However, if I have to remove these 2 from the picture, and I have to remove Long Haul, and I have to remove all the other ones from it, just to rank this dude on his own, I'd give this a 6.5 out of 10. I mean, seriously, you guys literally, sprung for the silver paint on the shins, but you didn't paint the thighs or the feet, which kind of makes this guy look a little bit more strange if you think about that. I mean, because Scrapper here has got silver legs, and this guy got gray legs, and the rest of them are supposed to have green and or gray green and or purple legs. So I don't know what they were doing with this, but at the same time, this works. There's no complaints on the fact that it does work for a Hook figure. So like I said, 6.5 out of 10 for this guy, and I am definitely looking forward to getting into the next one, which I have sitting right here, and this is going to be a hefty review, because the next review we do is going to be on this guy and this guy turning into Devastator after we've already transformed this dude. So we have a lot of things to do within the next couple of weeks here. So if y'all are paying attention and y'all are aware for it, keep your eyes peeled for the notification if you guys have your notifications on. If you don't, please turn them on, because then you'll be notified of everything that's going down. So, anyways, that is my review for the Transformers Studio Series 86 Commander Class 2-pack. This is Hook by himself. We are going to take a look at the next one, which is going to be Long Haul. So, anyways, this is Thomas Fan 01 saying, do not forget to check out Jordy's Rail videos, Patrick with a Y, iStar552, Bravely GG, Take Along Productions, Kit and Cat 999, Zaga the Animator, Alexander Rothschild, Lemon Lime Studios, and Corey Tucker. So please do not forget to check all of them out. They have been some fans, friends, and OGs of the channel. We've even had a few people on live streams with us as well. So please be tuned in for those as well, because we do have more live streams coming in the future. We just have to wait for Age of the Primes Wave 2 to show up in my area. So anyways, this is Thomas Fan 01 saying, do not forget to keep playing with your toys. Goodbye.